Go.
Okay, this is Bruno and Amy with Liam Bruno and Shoemaker Farms again. Today we're performing an inspection on our beehives. Now it's been about 2 weeks since we've been in there. We have to check our drone frames, and we think we need to add another box to the top. Now we don't have as many frames as we should have for it, which was just a miscalculation on my part. We were trying to do something with some different foundation and it didn't work out. But anyway, so we're going to check for mites and see how the queen's doing and see how well they're building out the frames that they have, see how much honey they have, and just look for general health and look for some problems. Now, as usual, if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with your friends. I think our smoker went in. And here from the Great Beyond. Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
We had about an inch, 1.2 inches of rain yesterday, so I can't use the normal wood I do for the smoker because it's so wet. So we're using something different today. It's the wood shavings we use for our chicken bedding, and so it looks like it might not burn as well on its own. Smoke's pretty good though. All right, here we go. Give them a little smoke there, get them so they're okay. Need to get a hive tool. These the boxes and frames and everything tend to, they seal them up with the wax. See, I don't think that it doesn't look like they really built any wax up on any of these frames in this other box yet. I don't think that we need any other box. But we're going to take this off and we're going to look at what's going on down below here, because we have to do that anyway to get to our drone frames and see what's going on with them. Can you hear me okay? Now, it looks like the frames in the lower box are stuck to the frames in this box. So I'm just going to pry them up a little bit here one at a time, loosen them up. Let's see if that did it for us. And it has. Now you can see where for some reason they connected to these lower frames to the upper ones. We want to be nice and gentle. We don't want to crush anybody if we don't have to. Let's get these all loose. they've been busy since last time we've been in the hive. Let's see. Take this one out on this edge here. You can see out there drawing the wax out to get these combs ready for filling. Nobody seems like they're moving irregularly. I don't see any damaged wings. Those are the things that you look for. Put this one back in here. It's, pull the next one out here. This one feels like it's got a little weight to it, and that's because, I don't know if you can see it, if my lovely assistant there could zoom in a little bit and look, these combs, a lot of them, well, maybe 50% are full of liquid, so where they're making honey. You see where some of it's capped. That's where that white area is. Other side, same thing. Now it looks like, I'm going to pull this frame out here and look at this. This looks like it has brood on it. I'm not an expert, but yet. See that? Actually, no, that's honey. Look at that. Golden sweetness. All right. Now, if you do this and you're worried about getting stung, I'm not for the most part, but one of the things you want to be careful of, you might want to put, if you're not wearing protective leggings, you want to put rubber bands maybe around your pant legs, because sometimes they will climb up your boot and under your pant leg, and you get a little surprise. That box is starting to get kind of heavy. Now let's see. Our drone frame is this green one right here. And we're going to see how much we've built out on this and whether it's time to pull it out. Now what the drone frame is used for is the foundation on it has a little bit bigger hex shapes than regular foundation, and the idea is that then what will happen is the queen will lay drone eggs, and they'll put drone eggs on there for the most part. You can tell that the hex shapes are a little bit bigger. Can you see that with the camera? Can you get close enough to that? Okay, so they're a little bit bigger. They tend to be drones, and one of the things, the reason that we're doing this is because the mites prefer drones over anything else. So we put a drone frame in there and we look for the mites to go after them. But I don't see any mite damage at all. It doesn't mean we don't have any, but I just don't see any damage from them. So I think that since This is only probably a little bit more than 50%, 60% on this side, and only less than 10% on that side. We're going to still leave this in there and let them keep working on it. Because what you would do is you would take this frame then, once it's mostly built out on both sides, and you would put it in the freezer. And what that does, yes, it kills the drones, but it kills all the mites that are on it. And then after it's been in the freezer for 48 hours, you feed it to the chickens. It becomes a treat for them, and it keeps your mite population managed in the hive. So this looks like it's good and it's healthy. We're not going to bother with it. See how they're chaining down? We're going to nice and gently put this back in here. I'm going to go nice and easy so you don't crush anybody. Give everybody time to move out of the way. All right. The space between the frames is called your bee space. You always want to have some bee space there for them. But you don't want it to be too much. If it's too much, then they'll do things you don't want them to do with the comb. Let's take a look over here, see how this is. Look at that beautiful honey there on the top they have. Most of it's capped in the corner. Like they're busy working away. Everything looks like it's going pretty well and everybody seems happy. So we're not going to bother these anymore. We're going to push these frames back together the way they're supposed to be. So they have their right bee spacing. And put this back on top here. This one back up here. Now we don't need that box we were going to add to the top. I'm going to slide this over here, try to get them to move out of the way. Crush as few as possible. Excuse me. And we'll cover this back up. And this, oops, helps put the inner cover on first. And that is the end of our inspection for this week. It looks like everything's healthy and coming along. They're building out their cone and they're making honey. So we're just going to let them be. Be, get it? When you do your inspections, we recommend you take notes. We have a notebook. Write the dates, write everything we checked, what we saw, what our observations were, so you kind of keep track of what's going on. Please hit that like button, subscribe, share it with your friends, and we're signing off. See you again soon.